Okay, now this is your Kalsila cave, the Kalsila cave where the three Pitakas were written. This is Kalsila cave where the, first convocation, Buddhist convocation took place under Kasyapa. Folks, this is the cave under Kasyapa in Rajgir, the Buddhist convocation took place. Folks, see that stone. Most probably Kashyapa sat on that stone while the convocation took place. It is in this cave that Anand sang the Sutra Pitaka. It is in this cave that Upali collected the Vinaya Pitaka, which was the rules and regulations. And it was in this cave that Kashyapa collected the Abhidharma Pitaka. Folks, this is the cave and not the Saptakparni cave which the Bihar government or Indian government or the Archaeological Survey of India has shown you. This is the cave, Kalsila cave, where these three Pitakas were written. And how I came to this conclusion, to understand it, you will have to view the video till the end. Now, southwest of the, Venuvana, that is basically Khiri. 5 or 6, that's 1.5 kilometers southwest of Khiri is Jethian. Jethian means elders. So this is the place where the first convocation took place. Kasyapa was on Mount Sumeru when he heard that the Buddha had obtained Mahaparinirvana. So he was going to pay homage. On the way, a Brahmin told him that he had already obtained Mahaparinirvana. And later on, he heard some of the disciples, chatting amongst themselves. It was good that the Buddha had died, because now if they go astray, there's no one to scold them. So this puts Kashyap in deep thought that the Buddha's teachings will all be wiped out at this rate. So he decides that everything should be put down on writing. So from Mount Sumeru, that is Simaria mountain. That is Simaria mountain on the border of Jharkhand and Bihar. He announces, plays the gong. He announces that there will be a meeting, a convocation in Rajgir, and all of the Buddha's teachings will be written down. So on the appointed date, hundreds of thousands of people come with their version of the Buddha's teachings. Now it was impossible to write down everything. So Kashyap puts a rule that all the young ones who are not yet well educated in the Buddha's ways, they will return. And he retained 999 elderly people. Those who acquired 3 species of knowledge, obtained 6 supernatural faculties, and who have kept the law without failure. These were the qualities he kept, and he retained 999. And folks, in a stone house, see the caves. Huen Tsang doesn't call a cave a cave. He calls them stone houses. So in a stone house, they hold this meeting, in which this Anand is also rejected because he is young. So anyway, Anand goes and he lies down, and then he gets knowledge of an Arhat, and he comes back and sort of confronts Kashyap, and he passes the test. And then he is called in. Now this happened on the 15th day of Varshavas. And they sat down and started noting down everything. Anand collected the Sutra Pitakas. Anand collected the Sutra Pitakas. Upali collected the Vinaya Pitaka. And Kashyapa collected the Abhidhamma Pitaka. Yeah, this was called the Thavira convocation. Now, this is the first convocation. Now, Thavira is not a Bihari word, it's a mispronunciation of some Bihari word. I will find that out. Now, where did this convocation take place? In a cave. Xuan Zang calls it a stone house. And inside it was big enough to folks, that is, the place's name is Kalsila. Kalsila. Now, my Buddhist friends, you all have got a lot of homework to do. A lot of homework. Kalsila cave. Now, what does Kalsila mean? Kalsi is an expensive basket in which you put expensive items. You have named it 3 Pitakas. See, you all got everything translated in Bengal or in Calcutta or somewhere or the other, but not in Bihar through Biharis. Now, Pitaka is that, basket in which snake charmers keep their snakes. Pitaka is a basket in which snake charmers keep their snakes. Pitara is a small basket in which, cheap things are kept. But Kalsa is a basket in which expensive things are kept. It's mainly generally made out of brass. So a Kalsa is a basket in which expensive things are kept. Now Kalsila is what do you call it? They were collecting the in a Kalsi, like in when I was a kid, when I would hide something and my mom would say, a Kalsi gadal hai. Kalsi is an expensive thing, basket, folks, and Kalsila is that cave's name. So that is the Pitara. Kalsi, the Kalsila is the Pitara, folks. Kalsila has been mispronounced as Pitaka. Understand? Now I know this is a very big change which I am saying has happened. But this is a fact. The cave is there. The name of the cave is there. And the Huen Tsang's directions are there. And basically now Kalsila is the place where this convocation took place. And what do you call it? Ajatshatru made arrangements for everyone's food and living, etc., etc., etc. The cave was for the meeting. Ajatshatru made a hall for what do you call it, to stay in and to eat and all. That is Bhojpur, just outside Kalsila. Bhojpur. So folks, check out the pictures of Kalsila. That is the cave in which the first convocation took place. And Kalsila has been replaced by mistake by Pitaka. So check out what Xuan Zang has to say, and then you can see the cave in satellite pictures, and then you can see the pictures of the cave. To the southwest, now let's see where Xuan Zang takes us. To the southwest of the bamboo garden, about 5 or 6 li, on the north side of the southern mountain is a great bamboo forest. In the middle of it is a large stone house. Here the venerable Kasyapa with 999 Arhats after Tathaga's Nirvana called a convocation for the purpose of settling the 3 Pitakas. Before it is the old foundation wall. King Ajat Shatrus made the hall for the sake of accommodating the great Arhats who assembled to settle the Dharma Pitaka. So where is this? 5 or 6 li to the southwest on the north side of the southern mountain. So let's see the north side of the southern mountain. This is the northern mountain, this is the southern mountain, and on the north side of the southern mountain is Kalsila cave. Kalsila cave. Mispronounced as Pitaka. Kalsi and Kalsila and Pitaka have the same meaning. The difference is Pitaka is an ordinary basket in which people put snakes, and Kalsi is a basket with very expensive things. So the original word is not Pitaka, it is the 3 Kalsila or the 3 Kalsilas. Folks, and the cave's name where the first convocation took place, his name is Kalsila, in the name of the Pitaka, so-called Pitaka. Actually there was no Pitaka, it was Kalsila. So let's see what else Xuan Zang has to say about this. At first, when Kasyapa was seated in silent study in the desert, suddenly a bright light burst forth and he perceived the earth shaking. Then he said, "What fortunate change of events is there, that this miracle should occur." Then, exerting his divine sight, he saw the Lord Buddha between the 2 trees entering Nirvana. Forthwith he ordered his followers to accompany him to the city of Kushinagara. On the way they met a Brahman holding in his hands a divine flower. Kashyapa, addressing him, said, "Whence come you? Know you where our great teacher is at present?" The Brahman replied and said, "I have but just come from yonder city of Kushinagar, where I saw your great master just entered into Nirvana." A vast multitude of heavenly beings were around him, offering their gifts in worship, and this flower which I hold, I brought thence. Kashyapa, having heard these words, said to his followers, "The Sun of Wisdom has quenched his rays, the world is now in darkness, the illustrious guide has left us and gone, and all flesh must fall into calamity." Then the careless Bhikshus said one to another with satisfaction, "Tathagat has gone to rest. This is good for us, for now we can transgress. Who is there to reprieve or restrain us?" Then Kasyapa, having heard this, was deeply moved and affected, and he resolved to assemble the treasure of the law, Dharma Pitaka. It is not Pitaka, folks, it is Kalsila. See, Pitaka is a cheap basket in which they keep snakes, pitara. But Kalsi is an expensive basket in which they put expensive things. And the cave's name is Kalsila. See, the cave's name is Kalsila. See, you can have a look at the cave also. Accordingly, he proceeded to the 2 trees, and regarding Buddha he offered worship. And now the king of the law, having gone from the world, both men and devas were left without a guide, and the great Arhats moreover were cleaving to with the idea of their nirvana. But the great Arhats also were wanting to die. So it was important that Kasyapa felt it was important to get everything written down before anyone died. Then the great Kasyapa reflected thus: to secure obedience to the teaching of Buddha, we ought to collect the Dharma Pitaka. On this ascended Mount Sumeru and sounded the great gong and spoke thus: Now then, in the town of Rajgiri, there is going to be a religious assembly. Let all those who have obtained the fruit hasten to the spot. So this is, folks, Kalsila. In connection with the sounding of the gong, the direction of Kasyapa spread far and wide through the great Chilicosm, and all those possessed of spiritual capabilities, hearing the instructions, assembled in convocation. At this time Kashyapa addressed the assembly and said, Tathagat having died, attained to extinction or nirvana, the world is empty. We ought to collect the Dharma Pitaka in token of our gratitude to Buddha. Now then, being about to accomplish this, there should be profound composure. How can this be done in the midst of such a vast multitude? Means hundreds of thousands of people landed up to add their bit. Those who have acquired the three species of knowledge, who have obtained the six supernatural faculties, who have kept the law without failure, whose powers of discrimination are clear, such superior persons as these may stop and form the assembly. Those who are learners with only limited fruit, let such depart to their homes. On this 999 men were left, but he excluded Anand. That is a different story. So this is the first convocation, folks, in which the elders were only remained. The elders remained. This is where your first convocation took place in Kalsila. So folks, and this is the Sangrama is here, Jethian, and what does Zang mention? Zang mention were around offering their gifts in worship. Here the venerable Kasyapa with 99 great Arhats after Tathagat's nirvana called a convocation for the purpose of settling the three Pitakas. Not the three Pitakas, it is the three Kalsilas. Before it is the old foundation wall, before the Kalsila is the old foundation wall. King Ajatshatru made this hall for the sake of accommodating the great Arhats who assembled to settle the Dharma Pitaka. See, the Arhats had assembled 999. Now, the cave was used to write down the three Pitakas. But where will the Arhats stay and where will they eat? See, to feed and for 999 Arhats to live and eat for quite a few months, it would take a lot of space and a lot of energy. So today that is Bhojpur, just in front of Kalsila. See, the place where Ajatshatru made the hall to accommodate all the Arhats, for the sake of accommodating the great Arhats who assembled to settle the Dharma Pitaka. So that should be right in front of the cave. So here is the cave Kalsila. Folks, this is Bhojpur. See, Kalsila is here. This is Bhojpur. The name is there. The village is here. Bhojpur. Bhoj means feast. Bhoj means feast. When you are feeding 999 people every day, in short, it is feasting every day. So folks, this Bhojpur is your the hall Ajatshatru made for the three Pitakas to be while the three Pitakas were written here. It was here that all the 999 Arhats stayed and ate. Bhoj means feast. So folks, check out the pictures of Kalsila cave. This is a picture of the Saptaparni cave, which the ASI and the Bihar government has shown as the place where the first convocation took place. No, this is not the cave in which the first convocation took place. This is wrong, totally wrong. There was no place called Saptaparsi. This is the satellite picture of Rajgir. It looks like a human torso with two legs, and you can see the Saptaparni cave has been highlighted by me. Folks, that is not the cave. The cave, see, that is not the cave. Now look at the cave. Can it accommodate 999 Arhats? Can it accommodate 3 Arhats who can sit down and write down the 3 Pitakas? No. Folks, this is not the cave. Look at the Buddhists, poor Buddhists praying in the cave. Okay, they are praying all right because the Buddha also stayed here. But this is not the cave where the first convocation took place. See, now you are seeing this satellite picture again. This is the place, this Kalsila is the place where the first convocation took place. Kalsila is an expensive Pitaka. See these pictures which you are seeing of Kalsila cave. This is the real cave. Kalsila means an expensive basket with expensive items. Now that is the difference between Pitaka and Kalsila. Number one, Pitaka, it is actually Pitara, but the Buddhists say Pitaka. Why? Because in Kalsila there is a K. That is why they added a K to Pitaka. Anyway, Kalsila, Pitara is a, Pitara is a basket in which you keep cheap things. Now, snake charmers keep Pitaras and they keep snakes in it. But Kalsila is a basket in which, generally Kalsi, it's actually Kalsi. Kalsi is made of bronze. A Kalsi is generally made of bronze, and in that bronze vessel, you keep expensive things. That is what Kalsila means. And this is Kalsila cave, folks. And see, the cave is named after what you call the Pitakas. The cave is named after what you call the Pitakas. The Kalsila cave, you check out the satellite picture. It is next to the Buddha Chakra, which is Ajatshatru Buddha relic stupa. It is next to Gumri, which is Ajatshatru's half-body relic stupa of Buddha. Then it's next to Balwa Jethian, which is your Karandarada Venuvana. And this is the Khiri is the mountain city, and see all the spots which Xuan Zang mentions, which are in the Buddhist texts, are here. And so the cave is also here, and this is Kalsila. Kalsila means a Pitara, an expensive Pitara with expensive things in it. So folks, this is your Kalsila cave where the first convocation took place. This is the cave in which Anand sang the Sutra Pitaka, Upali collected the Vinaya Pitaka, rules and regulations. See, and Kasyapa collected the Abhidharma Pitaka. See, in front of the place, you can see, the cave, you can see a place. The ground is fit to accommodate around 100 or so people, 200 or so people. And you can see the cave is fit to accommodate 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people who can sit cross-legged on the ground and write down whatever they have collected. So this is your Kalsila cave. Folks, Kalsila has been mispronounced as Pitaka. The actual word is Kalsila. Folks, I hope you found this video educative. See, and another proof of Kalsila is of Kalsila as being the venue of the first Buddhist convocation under Kasyapa is Bhojpur village just below it. That is the Sangrama which Ajatshatru made to feed the 999 Arhats and to he made a hall for them to reside in. See, just look at this cave. You people can't reside inside this cave. 999 people can't live in this. They had to have a hall outside, and that is Bhojpur. Bhoj means, see, if 999 people sit down to eat, that is a feast. That is what Bhoj means. Bhoj is a feast. So this one, up here you had feast day and night. Day and night. People were coming to this cave and getting their stuff written, whatever they heard the Buddha say, written down by your Anand and Upali and Kashyapa, and going down to Bhojpur where they stayed for the night and they ate. So folks, this Bhojpur is proof that Kalsila is the venue of the three of the first Buddhist convocation. I hope you found this video educative. If you did so, don't forget to follow, like and subscribe to my page Buddha Exhume, and don't forget to tell your friends and relatives about this page, and don't forget to visit this cave next time you come to Rajgir.